Alright, so I am back, and today we're going to take a look at the Hasbro Toys R Us exclusive Masterpiece Starscream. I got him this morning from a trade for Minosaur, Combiner Wars Minosaur, so I thought it was a pretty good deal. We've already seen this mold, a dozen times now, I think. I'm sure we'll see it again. Sorry, the dog's wandering around in the background. He's still kind of getting used to the place. Anyway, so here he is in his jet mode. Now, I don't have the Takar version to compare this to anymore, because I sold all my MP Seekers a little while ago. And I'm going to get some of them back, but probably not the Takara Starscream, because the price is just it's not worth it to me. And we'll get into that as we look at this figure. Again, because we've already looked at this jet this mold a few times, I'm not going to go from the robot to jet and then back to robot, just the jet to robot, because we've seen this. I've done this a number of times. There's no point to continue doing it. Just kind of showcase the slight differences. So he does come with the base, which I don't believe Coronation set came with that. So that's different. He also comes with the missile pods, which make there's no point to have these with this mold, because again, what you have to do is you have to take this off and then disconnect the ball joint from the arm, and then you can put the missile pods in. So you actually have to remove part of the figure in order to do that, which is, stupid. I don't like it. So yeah. And then, let's see. So there's that. So the base, it works really good for jet mode. Hey. Sorry. So it works really good for jet mode. If you have the original mold, without the heel supports, this is essential to getting your figure to stand. But for this one, it's not that important. He does come with the little pilot, not the Dr. Ockerville guy. Just straight black plastic. It's there. And it comes with the gun clip. This is for the original MP Megatron that came with the original MP01 Optimus, the pistol, or the gun mode for him. On to the jet. He does have the fold-out landing gear, like always. I haven't really played with this thing too much because I just got him this morning. Flip out the landing gear. So it's nice and painted. Again, that's die-cast. The wheels work. I mean, again, we've seen it all. Major differences here from the Takara one is the blue nose cone, I believe. And of course, you open that up, silver paint. He's got really nice Decepticon logo on the front here. He's also got some nice ones on the wings. He's got the stopper that's painted silver, so that's nice. Flip this up, and of course, you got your heel spurs there. All around, the jet looks good. I like it. It's got this nice metallic blue here, that really good red paint there, the red paint here, red plastic here, and then, of course, like I said, the blue nose cone. Got the nice stripes. I mean, I think he looks pretty good. Pretty top notch, actually. So, yeah. Let's get him into robot mode. So again, we're just going to try and fly through this as quickly as we can because we've seen this. So just pull the wings off like so. Now I know there have been numerous reports on quality control issues with this particular version or repaint of the mold. This one I got really lucky because I mean not only did I get a good one, but I got it from some guy trading in the back alley of a Walmart. Well, it was the garden section, but yeah. So it's like some guy like that could have easily ripped me off, but he didn't. So flip these panels down on the wings. You want to extend the legs out like so. Flip the foot down and around. So he's got the nice metallic blues here. And the gunmetal grays. It's pretty close to the Takara from what I remember. I haven't had the Takara in hand for a little while. But all around, and I know there's some of this red that's that really nice red that I love, and some of it's just this molded red, which I hate. It really makes it look like a knockoff, but it's one of those that's like, the Takara had the same issues going on with the reds. Not all of it was that awesome red, and because some of it was the molded plastic, and I hated it. I hated it on that. I said that in my review of it. I hate it on this one, so there's not much really difference there. So fold out the arms here, trying to get them out of the way of the wings. Sorry, I'm kind of talking over the transformation, but again, we've seen the transformation. So fold these down. Fold these down. Undo this section here. Flip that up. We'll take the nose cone, open it up, flip this in. And then we want to just like so. And then slide that in. That's the part I always messed up on when I first was playing with this thing. I kept forgetting to slide that nose cone in. So there's that. Fold this down. Fold this down. This will come up. There's a tab right here that'll plug in that slot right there. He doesn't want to seem to slide all the way down. Why not? There we go. And you just slide that down. There's a little tiny tab right back here. I don't know how well you can see that. That'll plug in to a part of the nose cone there. So you just line those up. You try and tab it in the best you can. That's kind of not quite fitting right here. What's going on? Pull out the hands. Let's get everything else out of the way. Rotate this around at the top ball joint. And then you can collapse it up. Thumbs, and of course, see, it's not latching in. It's not loose. It's just, it's not wanting to go together for some reason. Just trying to see if there's something caught somewhere. No, no. So just trying to get that in there. I don't know, because it was locking in just fine, so I don't know what's going on here. Yeah, right before I did this review, I messed with them and it all locked in just fine. So I don't know why it's not all of a sudden. Okay, now it went. Alright, whatever. Guess it just needed a little bit of force. Alright, so here he is in his bot mode. Still has the same articulation as all the MP Seekers. You got your head on a ball joint. Left, right, up, down. Shoulders, rotate up and down. Ratchets, swivels in and out. Bicep swivel. Double bend elbow. Hand rotates. Thumb is on a ball joint. Each of the fingers is on a ball joint. And looks like they may have installed the fingers backwards. So you just rotate them around. There we go. That looks better. So the index fingers on a ball joint and a hinge, and then the rest of the fingers are on a ball joint and a hinge. And you can see one thing I don't like is it's got this metallic blue here, and it goes to molded blue for the hands. I wish I would have carried it over, or vice versa. I think the Takara Skywarp had that same issue. I think. So not really much anything at the waist. Again, you got the red plastic here on the red paint. I wish they would have thrown a coat of red paint over the red plastic just to balance it out, but you know, whatever. Hips rotate up to there. They rotate back, in and out. Thigh swivel. Double bend knee. Foot has a little bit of a swivel, and the heel doesn't really do much of anything. It's all a fairly pulsable figure for what he is. Yeah. So now let's talk about some scale. So I'm not going to do any chug scale, really, because this is MP. This is an MP Seeker. So he might end up becoming part of my scale comparisons until I figure out what I'm doing here. Here he is with an MP car, and the scale works. It really, really depends on your idea of scale. Because some people will say he's not big enough to be compared to a car, because he's a jet. You know, it depends on your scale. Here he is with MP10, or at least the MP10 mold. I just got him in the other day, and he's going to start becoming my new scale comparisons. I'll take a brief look at him later on. But I mean, we've seen the mold on this guy too. I just wanted to do this review tonight because I promised a friend I'd take some pictures of him in bot mode, and I don't want to transform these things more than I have to sometimes. So there he is there. So again, I think this scale, for me, the scale's pretty good. Here he is with MP Soundwave, who's going to get retired here pretty soon. I just wanted to bring him out for this one. But so he is a little bit taller than Starscream, and I think that's about where he should be. And he's still taller than both, so we're looking good there, I think. Now, I'm going to move these guys to the back here. Now, there's a couple other options, and I'm going to do one of my chart war reviews next week on this. Because there are a couple other options that one could use for MP, and I just wanted to give you guys a taste of what the scale is comparatively with. Here is the iGear Starscream. So you can see he's about a head shorter or so. Just a little bit more than a head shorter. Design is a little bit neater in both cleanliness, like he cleans up a little bit better in my opinion, and just he's got more of that fresh IDW redesign look. So it depends on what you want for your collection. If you want a straight up masterpiece G1 figure, then definitely he's the way to go. But if you're okay with a little bit of an update, I think this one still works pretty well. I don't know what I'm trying to do with his arms here. And then you can still see with an MP car, he's still significantly taller. So again, it depends on your scale, what you prefer on your scale. And then there is the leader class Starscream, who you can see is a little bit taller than the MP Starscream. Yeah, making sure those legs were extended all the way. So the leader is actually a little bit taller, not by much at all. He looks a little bit bulkier because of the way he fills out, but so there you go. There's 3 different options. We're gonna do the full comparison chart next week on this. So for a rating on this guy, he still has the same issues that all the MP Seekers have. And the plastic, some of the molded plastics versus some of the painted plastic just don't quite flow together as well as they should. It looks good, but things don't tab in quite well enough. But if he was a $200 figure, like I said when I reviewed the Takara, it's like, yeah, the paint was great on it, but for a $200 figure, is he worth $200? I didn't think so. This one, if you were able to get it when it first came out, which was not that long ago, if you were able to get it when it first came out or pre-order through Toys R Us, you're looking at a $60 figure. $60 for this. Is he worth $60? Oh yes, you bet your ass he is. Even if you don't collect MPs, $60 for this guy, that's amazing. When the same thing only recolored into Takara colors is $200. Yeah, he doesn't come with the Coronation set, but neither did the Skywarp, and the Skywarp was $20 more than the Starscream. So it's a hard pill to swallow when it's $200. For something like that, and then while the QC issues that have been plaguing this figure, from what I've heard, wings flopping off, hands being installed backwards, getting 2 right hands, stuff like that, those are issues, but mine is fine, except for the locking chest thing that kind of didn't quite work as easy as it should have, but for $60, yeah, this thing is worth it. Even if you don't collect these things, $60. I say if you see this guy in the store, just buy it. and put it on a shelf somewhere. You might want to get MP Seekers later on down the road. You might not. Who knows? Jet mode is amazing. Once you get that thing in jet mode, that thing's just gorgeous. So you can just display it there. I know that the Thundercracker was $60 when he first came out, but he goes for almost $200 now. And then the Dakar Thundercracker is $200. Skywarp's $200. I know Ass's Storm was 65 or 70, and Sunstorm was like 80. It's not worth, it's worth $80 for some people. The Sunstorm wasn't worth $80, but this thing being $60, yes, I highly recommend it. And this is where the price point versus my scale rating comes into play, because I'm going to give this a 9 out of 10. I think this thing is near perfect for the price point. Only thing I would have wished for is if they would have done I'll forgive the hands because there's not much we can do there. But I wish they would have just gone over this red molded plastic just once with some of this red paint to just make it look a little bit better. Other than that, I love this thing. If they released all the Seekers at this price point, over the next few weeks, I'd be buying them left and right. I'd buy all of them. I'd probably buy a couple copies of each. It's a great price for them. If you can get it for $60, you get it for $60. That's just an insane price for this figure. It's just crazy. I hope that because of how well this thing sold, that Takara or Hasbro anyway realizes that there's still a market here for this figure at that price point, and they release more. I know we're getting Ramjet finally for MP, and oh my god, I'm happy about that. So if we get Ramjet for $60 or something like that at Toys R Us, it's gonna fly off the shelves. It's gonna be one of those pre-orders sold out overnight. There's a lot of money left in this mold. They just have to put it out a little bit quicker than once or twice a year, and maybe do some bigger numbers on releasing it, and be smarter about it, because the Thundercracker kind of shelf warmed, but that was because that was when MPs were still kind of getting off the ground. American ways, still kind of getting there. Acid Storm and Sunstorm, they shelf warmed because nobody really wanted that Sunstorm in that color, and nobody really cared too much about Acid Storm. Those are troop fillers. But imagine $60 for a Skywarp. $60 for an MP Skywarp. If they did that, that'd just be insane. And do like the Takara version of the Sunstorm colors, or do the Ramjet, Thrust, Dirge. There's other color characters you can do with this mold, and it's gonna sell like crazy. Hasbro just really needs to buckle down and realize that that's something that they need to do. Anyway, although personally I'd love to see a G2 version of Starscream, MP G2 Starscream. That would be awesome. Anyway, 9 out of 10. I do recommend it. If you see him, do not hesitate to pick it up. If you don't want it, pick it up anyway and send me an email. Maybe I can trade you something for it. Next week we will do, like I said, a comparison video, listing the pros and cons of each figure, and we'll just and the availability of the other figures in the set. So we're gonna do like a full comparison there on these three. But real quick, just as a reminder, he's the most expensive one on the table right now. That guy. He's $60. Those guys are what, $45, $50, something like that. So $10 to $15 more for this. There's not even a question for me which one I would go with. This guy's got some die cast in it and some solid plastic. This guy's hollow and light. He's a good stand-in if you don't have MP Seekers, But if we have $60 MP Seekers that are this good, there's no use for these things. But we'll go into that more detail next week. So yeah, there you go. MP Hasbro Toys R Us Starscream.